Hi, and welcome to another Learn, Grow, Invest video. I am Renee of Learn, Grow, Invest, one of the co-founders. And Learn, Grow, Invest is a community of investors and believers founded on Deuteronomy 8:18, which says, "Remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the ability to produce wealth." So while our community caters to everyone, we are indeed founded on the Word of God. So we welcome you here today to talk to a very special guest as we delve into entrepreneurship from the perspective of a content creator. So, as is customary here on Learn Grow, we shall open with a word of prayer. Mighty God, we give you thanks for this day. We give you thanks for this opportunity, Lord, to utilize this platform to glorify you. Lord, as we gather here today, I pray in the name of Jesus that all that is said and done will be to your glory, and that your hand of blessing will be upon each and every person who tunes in, Lord, and upon their households. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, guys. So this is one for the books for us, right? Because we have a guest with us today who is, I can't stop smiling. she is one who definitely gives us a reason to smile daily. And we are blessed to have her as a friend, as a content creator, and as an entrepreneur. So I'm talking about no other than Juliet Bodley, aka Julie Mango. And I would love for you to join me in welcoming Julie to our platform.
Hi.
Hey, Julie. Thank you so much for being here with us today, and thanks for agreeing to talk. Just talk about what content creation really means. So, for those who do not, by some chance, don't know who you are as Julie Mango, please do give our audience an introduction to who you are.
Okay, so this is Julie Mangor. That's my moniker, and my real name is Juliet Bodley. Well, both of them are my real names, and I make TikToks. I'm a Christian first and foremost, and I live in the United States. I'm an engineer by profession. That's what I do when I'm not clowning around. And in my spare time, I make TikToks. And I have been in Jamaica for 36 years of my life, and I only migrated 3 years ago. And so, I started doing TikToks, and then all that happened is that more people appreciated my stuff, and then I just continued to post. And that's me in a nutshell. Ask any questions.
All right. Thank you so much for that intro. Short and sweet. So there's a lot to talk about, right? Let's start with, why did you get started in content creation?
I mean, my dad's wife, she sent me a video of a lady doing praise and worship, Jamaica style versus United States style. And I found it so funny. And then knowing me, I love to do drama and performing arts and all of that. I did all of that in high school. And I'm like, I'm going to do a video like this. So I did it. And I just posted it on TikTok. It was my first video on TikTok. And I mean, and then all I know is that, and I posted on Instagram. All I know is that the next morning I wake up, it have a whole lot of views. In that time, I only had like maybe 900 followers on TikTok, but it had thousands of views. And then on Instagram, it had a lot of views. And Sparky Baby Official shared the video. And I basically went viral in the context. I could say it went viral. So I was like, okay, well, people like this and I like doing it. So I'll just continue.
Right. So then that type of creation was always a part of you in terms of drama and comedy and
Oh yeah, naturally, because daddy and my uncle, they are hilarious people. If you just sit down and listen to them tell stories, you crack up. And I mean, that was one of the best parts of my childhood. So that was childhood. And then in high school, I was a part of the drama club, and we usually put on shows for Heroes Day, Christmas. We put on concerts and stuff like that. So it's a natural part of me, and it kind of runs in the family. We're all kind of entertaining.
Awesome, awesome. So, a part of what we want to get to our audience today is just what it really takes to be a content creator, what goes into it. So, can you share a little bit about what it takes for you as a content creator, as someone who is creating on TikTok, to actually put out that 1 minute or that 3 minute video? What goes
Mhm.
into that?
It's actually a lot more time consuming and harder than a 9 to 5 because, so first of all, you have to think of the idea. And when you
Mm-hmm.
think about it, you have to think of the method of delivery. And then based on your standards or what your platform is or the brand that you represent, you have to see how you have to pick and choose topics that are in alignment with your brand. And then once you pick the topic, then the method of delivery, you have to see, what do I say this? Will I offend another religious group? Even though I'm a Christian, I have to realize that even though I'm in this world and not of this world, but I'm in this world, so I can't be going around offending people.
Right.
I have to think how to bring it off, and it has to still be funny without offending anybody. So it's the thought process comes first, and for me, that takes a couple of weeks to think about a skit. And
Wow.
then after I think about it, I know how I want to do it, and then there goes props. I use a lot of
Mm-hmm.
props. Most of my props are things already exist in my house. So if I want to use a shield, I'll go for a pot cover, and you see me with the pot cover using as a shield.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the fun for me. If I want a barrel, I find a old box and try to put it in a circle. And I think that
Yeah.
adds to the fact that it's funny because obviously that's not a barrel, it's a box and whatever. So you need props. And then when you have the props and you need the costumes, and then once you have all of those three things, you need to start filming. You can either script what you're going to film or just put the camera on and just start talking, because if you have it in your head already, you just film. Then no filming for me to put out a 1 minute video, because of how I am accustomed to putting it out. It has a lot of elements and a lot of different characters.
Right.
Film for me, it depends. So if I have two characters in the video, to film would take like 40 minutes, and then
Mm-hmm.
to edit take about an hour and a half. But if I have
Wow.
the minute it goes up to 3 or 10 characters, anywhere between 4 to 5 hours to film, and to edit anywhere between another 4 to 5, even 6 hours sometimes, depending on how I want it to come out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it takes time. So if you want to put out something really good that's for 1 minute, it takes time.
Yeah. That's a
Yeah,
significant amount of time. And
yeah,
you are now putting out TikToks daily, like
right. So what,
pretty
yeah,
much
what helps
daily.
is that, yeah, what helps is that because I've been thinking about the skit before, it's not
Mm-hmm.
too tough when I'm filming, and then I try to just alternate what I'm doing. So whilst I'm watching Netflix and eating ice cream and getting fat on the couch, I'm editing video, right? So it's like I'm dual tasking then, because I know I don't have the time to do everything.
Mm-hmm.
But when I'm relaxing, then I try to edit some videos. Yeah.
Wow. So do you, in terms of equipment, what kind of investment do you make in equipment to get this done?
So I first started out with my little tripod on my iPhone, and
Mm-hmm.
then I realized I could do videos at night. So I bought a ring light on Amazon. And I use, when I'm buying something, I consider it an investment, because
Right,
the
of
tripod
course.
I'm using now, I bought that 3 years ago when I was living in Florida, and I wasn't using it, but I bought it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm using my tripod. It's like a part of me right now. So I consider it an investment. So I bought the
Yeah.
ring light, the most expensive one, and it has been serving me. It's an investment. I have two soft boxes. It's expensive, but it's an investment. I had to buy a personal computer because work gives me a laptop, but because of, I mean, I know they won't say it's a problem if I use their laptop, but my internal conflict of interest, plus my Christian, God would not want me to be using work laptop to do my personal stuff. So
Right.
I had to buy a computer, right? So that's the equipment that I need, and I consider those to be investments.
Absolutely, they are. And I think that segues into the next part of the discussion about investing. So you are making these purchases, or you've made these investments in yourself, essentially, because it is your brand, it is your content. You are the creator here of this content. You are the one putting it out. It's your face. You're making this investment. Is it worth it? Would you say that it is worth it?
It is totally worth it, and let me tell you why. So clearly, I'm not making $1 million right now, right? But so I can easily tell you that since I've started social media, I've made back the money that I've spent in equipment. But remember, that's just equipment. I wasn't using the money from social media to pay bills, to feed myself, to go to hospital, to live. That's my day job, as in that's what my day job allows me to live.
Right.
But so the money that I get from TikTok is just enough to cover the overheads, no profit, no nothing like that, just to keep making content, to buy the wigs and stuff. So it is definitely worth it, right? And then if someone wants to do it full time, the more you grow, the more you put out, the more content you produce, then the more money you'll eventually make. For me, I'm not really sure what it is. If I want to influencer per se, my thing is acting. So right now I'm enjoying the influencer stuff. If persons come to me, I will take the money because I kind of want to buy a camera. So take this deal so I can buy a camera and stuff like that.
So when it is you say that you're earning from TikTok, is it that it's endorsement deals? Like how can persons actually earn from TikTok?
So TikTok has what is called a creator fund, right? So once you reach 10,000 followers, you can apply for the creator fund. Unfortunately, that's so rude of TikTok. That fund is not available in Jamaica because the Jamaican creators are not out there, and Africa as well. I don't think it's available in Africa. I'm not sure. But you have a TikTok creator fund and they pay for it's not much. It's kind of only enough to just say, oh, I'm getting money. So, it can range from like $10 a month to $116 a month, depending on your followers and depending on the interactions in your videos and stuff like that. So TikTok pays you. Additionally, you get brands approach you to do videos for them. So I don't put any branded videos on TikTok. That is just straight comedy. I put my branded videos on IG and not too many of them either because I don't want my page to get saturated and people are like, oh. So people will approach a dedicated skit for them and then they will need me to do that.
Got you. So thanks for that because that's brand new information. I'm not a TikTok girl. I actually am just warming up to the idea of installing the app. So for that one, I'm completely a late adopter. But I do see where it brings joy to people. It brings laughter. I'm grateful that your content is on IG because that works for me. I'm fully there each day expecting my Julie Mango video, So yeah, it is quite interesting to know that there is that creator fund. And you raised something that's pretty important. It is not available in Jamaica. Now there are a number of things that content creators here locally in Jamaica are struggling with, and it is because of those features that are not available. So the one you would have mentioned, the creator fund on TikTok, but also things as simple as reels on IG.
Yeah,
some of us
are not
don't have reels. Exactly. And
Jamaica uses Instagram just like everywhere else.
Exactly. And so it does create an additional hurdle for Jamaican content creators because now Instagram is prioritizing video over photos, right? And so what I notice a number of persons are doing now, they're on TikTok and they have their TikTok content on IG so that it will get more uptake and more visibility to be able to actually get some views on IG, because otherwise the algorithm is just not going to show your content. And that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's important to note for the persons who are listening, if you are in Jamaica, though we're talking about these features, not all of the features are necessarily available here locally. So if you are considering going into content creation, be sure to do the research as to what is and what isn't available so that you can strategize accordingly. And as I mentioned strategy, is there a strategy that you employ to the different platforms, Julie? Because I know you would have started with TikTok and then you kind of transitioned over to the other platforms. Is there an overarching strategy that you utilize for the different platforms
I mean,
or for your brand?
strategy changes sometimes, but what I've found is that TikTok and IG are two different platforms. In terms of my followers, my IG followers are a little bit more mature, more my age group or even older. Like, you will find the people who are not into social media, they will follow, will check out IG and see what's going on. And Facebook also, because I put my post on Facebook for persons who are like not on IG. Because you have the people who are still religiously checking out Facebook, right?
That's true.
And then for TikTok, it's a lot of younger people and also a wider audience in terms of not just Jamaicans or Caribbean or not even just Africans, but I have people from Brazil, people from Iran, people from Iraq who follow me on TikTok. They don't understand anything I'm saying, but they're laughing. Like, they literally DM me and tell me that, listen, I don't understand anything you're saying because I'm speaking patois, right? But they like it. So in terms of my content, the snappy, quick content I keep on TikTok. But the more skit type of content, like the longer content that has like a message behind it or like a joke or something, I put that on IG because the crowd on IG, they like content with sustenance.
Yeah.
Right? But with TikTok, once it has a snap, like that's what sells. Well, I realize that's what sells on TikTok, right? But they, on IG, people kind of like want more, you know. So, and you know, for Facebook, the same type of content that I put on IG, I put on Facebook, and Facebook still appreciates a lot more pictures. Right.
And what about Twitter? Did you venture to Twitter?
Yes, I'm on Twitter as well, right? So with Twitter, not every video can go there because Twitter is a place that is not very regulated, right? So you could post a video and some persons, it's like it's such a mixture of people. Some persons may not understand what you're saying in the video or what you're trying to portray, and then in a minute the video can take a turn for the worse. Like, people don't understand that. So you have to understand your audience a little bit more in Twitter. And Twitter is somewhere you have to actually support other creators to retweet other person's comment. It's a current event sort of platform. So if you're just posting your content and not interacting with people, that's not good on Twitter either. So with Twitter, interaction is very, very important. Your content has to be top tier all the time. You can't put out, it's not forgiving. You can't put out something that and expect that people are going to be nice to you on Twitter. No. So I would say the easiest platform is TikTok. Not so easy, IG. Also, not so easy, Facebook. Then definitely not easy, Twitter.
Right. Twitter is a different space altogether. And I think you said it right. Each platform has a different requirement, a different set of requirements. And so it's important that if you're choosing to go into content creation, you should, I believe, anyway, as a creator too, I believe that it is important to decide on the type of content that you want to put out and then choose a primary platform that you're going to utilize for that content, because trying to manage all of them will drive you crazy. Because it's different content forms for each platform, different types of interaction. And as you said, with a platform like a Twitter, you have to be constantly replying, retweeting, posting.
You have to be in the discussion.
Yes, in the discussion, stay relevant, be joining in when it is that person's are having a conversation with you. If you're silent on Twitter, then you lose relevance real quickly. So yeah, really, really good point. I wanted to rewind a little bit though. You had shared about creating the content, and you shared about, you know, what it takes to make it happen, to record it and to edit it. But what happens after the editing? There's that putting out of the content and the sharing and the responding to comments and all of that. What
Okay,
is
so
that part of it like?
after I edit and stuff, I post it. When I post, I put down my phone. Because if you post and look, you're gonna get what's called social media anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important after I post. So I post on TikTok first, check. Post on Instagram, put my hashtags, yada yada yada, check it, check. Then I think if I want to post that one on Twitter, maybe not check or not check. And it goes automatically to Facebook whenever I post to Instagram. Then I put down my phone and go do something else, breathe a breath of fresh air, something, whatever it takes. Inhale, because once you put it out there, people are criticizing your creative work. Put it out there for anyone to say anything. So it's like you have to. I mean, I haven't gotten any negative comments on any of my stuff. Glory be to God. But you know, there's always a chance that you messed up or it wasn't the good quality and stuff like that. So when you put it out, you have to just dress a little and then go back and read the comments, right? I personally like to go through the comments and respond to as much as I can because I see the post as a community sort of thing. I like to see what people are saying. I like to see the jokes that they make about the video, under the video. There are some of my followers that know my skits by heart. When they see one character in a new skit, they're like, "So how 5 weeks ago when that happened, also is this him doing now?" And I'm like, I don't even remember. And it's like, it's true. And that amazes me because then it really means that persons are invested. And what that does is it gives me energy to keep putting out, to fine-tune my acts and to always, be improving on my content and to just basically make people happy.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So after posting, there's the me. I look at the comments, I respond, I interact with I don't like to say followers. I interact with my audience.
Right. So I like that. I love that. I love that actually. And I think it is important as well to be interacting with the audience because, as you said, it is community, right? It's personal.
Yeah.
It's personal for persons. You're a part of their daily lives with each skit that comes out, and Janet is a part of their daily lives too. So
I don't know. It's a famous I'm saying.
Yeah, man. People love their Janet.
Also, what I find really hilarious is that people talk about the different characters as if I'm not the one that's doing all of them. Like, why Sharon's a fool and Janet smart? I'm like, guys, it's me. I'm just. What's Janet mother name? Pastor Molly's boy. Pastor Molly's is something else, boy. I'm like, y'all know it's me, right? I'm just.
It's very interesting because I will admit, I do go through the comments and I find them hilarious. So with all of that you're doing as a creator, how do you balance with work and know that you'll post that you're in the gym working out too, and how do you balance your 9 to 5 with your content creation and just regular life, still having friends and interacting with, having a social life, etc.?
That has been the biggest lesson for me. And I have one word to answer that: stewardship. What God gives you, you have to be a good steward to it, right? So God gave me a job. I can't be saying, oh, well, I'm not going to my job because I'm doing what I love, social media, right? So that's my job is important. But then he also gave me a gift. And then he also flourished in my TikTok and my IG. So I have to steward that well. So what I have to do is to realize what my priorities are. Right? My number one priority is work, because that was the first gift. He gave me that before he gave me TikTok. and those things. So it's work, right? And then my next priority is my social media presence on all the social media, right? So I have to compartmentalize. And that I put up a thing on my story on one of the videos. You don't have to be motivated, you just have to be disciplined. So there's sometimes when I'm doing a TikTok and I want to do work, but it's time for TikTok. There's sometimes when I'm at work and I want to do TikTok, but it's time for work. So once I clock into my workplace, that's my place of work. I don't do no TikToks. I just want to comment until my lunchtime. That's when you see me go through and tick, 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 tick. I can go through like 100 comments in 20 minutes and respond, yeah, my God, thank you, heart, prayer, right? And then once lunchtime is up, that was the time that I got to do my private business. Back to God's work. I mean, it's God's work anyway, but because He gave me that job. So back to the job. When I'm finished with work, I've fully focused. When I'm at work, fully focused on work. When I'm finished with work, I come home. I probably watch a little Netflix, do something that I like. I don't know, eat ice cream and get fat. Relax a little bit, and then do a TikTok. And depending on how long it takes me, it probably takes me sometimes. If I'm doing like a dancing video where I change costumes, that could take me like 4 hours. But if I'm doing just a double character video, it would just take me like 40 minutes. And that's basically what it, you have to you have to compartmentalize the different aspects of your life. You have to realize what they are first. So mine are social media and work. That's it. As in terms of professional life. I'm not talking like personal life. And so when I'm working on one, I can't be distracted by the other. What you'll find is that you get your tasks done. And if you can't finish something today, it is better you put it off. I know you don't like procrastination and stuff, but if you're full, if your schedule is full and you're feeling overwhelmed, put it down until tomorrow.
That is good advice. And I think one of the challenges is really that separation. When is it work time? When is it my time? That personal life thing, because now in terms of persons working from home, there's less of a boundary between work and personal life. And so it becomes even more challenging to say, all right, let me stop working now, because I know for a number of persons, since we've been working from home, it's like you start work at 6 a.m. instead of 8 a.m. or you finish working at 8 p.m. instead of 5 p.m. And things kind of just start meshing together. So I think that's a very solid point in terms of having that separation between what is work, your 9 to 5 work, and what is your personal time, what is your content creation time, your social media, and setting those priorities as well. Be very clear, very, very clear on what your priorities are. And it may be different for different persons, because for some persons, content creation is their full-time job.
Exactly.
And so, sure, that's different. So yeah, thank you for that. And another thing we just wanted to touch on a bit is brand management. So as an individual who would have just shot to fame, TikTok fame, and then coming out on the different platforms and different media, what does brand management look like for you as a creator, and what goes into determining what you share, what you don't share?
First of all, what goes into determining what I share and what I don't share is the nudging. Many people are not familiar with this. Non-Christians, of course, you and I know, but the nudging of the Holy Spirit. I kid you not. If an idea comes to my head and I get a little, I know, oh, okay, sorry, not that one. So for me to decide, everything that I put out has to be in alignment with God. It's not always Christian-based stuff, but it is things that I shouldn't say He would not have. It is things that are not offensive to God or offensive to my Christian beliefs. right? So
Right.
that's the first thing. That's the number one thing that I that controls, right? So then, of course, now you have in terms of my brand is comedy, mental health, and when I say comedy, even that I have to niche down a little bit, because in my comedy I don't drag people, so you won't find
Right.
me doing. Yeah, actually, yesterday was the closest I've ever come dragging somebody when I did the Shakari interview, and I only did that because someone specifically asked me to in comments of one of my previous videos. So I don't drag people in my comedy. I just I try to do content that everyone can laugh at, even the person being made fun of. So, and then
Which
also
is
kids,
usually your family, right?
right? And also kids can watch it. I like when the comedy is such that kids can watch it and family can watch it. So that is my brand, really. Also, what I'm careful to keep to not a brand of perfection, right? Because it's very easy. You see, as a Christian creator, you already have that stigma where Christians like to behave as if they're holier than thou, etc., etc. I try to out there that, you know, I am not perfect. I can be fun. I can be this and that. I am not perfect. I'm not, and Christianity is not about perfection. So that's
Right.
also a brand where I'm kind of like a ninja Christian. I sneak it up on you, like I'm so cool and fun, and then, oh, guess what? You knew that I'm Jesus, right? So
Yeah.
that's my brand. Clean content. I don't drag. It's comedy and it is mental health. Anything positive, not perfect, but anything positive. Safe space. I like when you come on my Instagram page, I want you to feel like you're in a safe space or a safe area. When persons comment under my post and they would say negative things, like for example on TikTok, someone would say, "Oh my gosh, the entire Caribbean does this." Then a Jamaican would come now and say, "Lux, well, go and make your own video about the Caribbean." Then she's talking about Jamaica, kiss teeth. I would delete that comment because it doesn't contribute to the whole warm, fuzzy togetherness
Yes.
feeling that I create on my platform. Yeah.
I got you. Thank you. And you mentioned mental health, right? So I want to just give you some space to talk a little bit about that. What is it that you are driving in terms of mental health, and where can that content be found? Because I know you do integrate it in your TikToks, but I'm also aware that you have a YouTube channel that you go into a little more depth about the mental health issues. So please do share that with our audience.
All right. So my objective is to normalize talking about being mentally sick. I should say ill, but that's too politically correct. I want to put it out there, to be sick in the head. I want to normalize talking about it. You know, if you have a sprained ankle, you're gonna say, "Oh, my ankle sprained," and somebody said, "Your ankle sprained. Let me help you. I know what you can put ice on it. This, that is good." You know, it's normal. But somebody say, "I'm sick in the head," or "my head feeling sick." People are like, "Oh, this is big. Like, what do I do?" I want to get rid of that. My aim is to normalize talking about having a mental health issue, and to normalize, which is even a bigger part, getting treatment for it. Because a lot of people think that if you're getting treatment for your mental health issues, you are failed, you're a wuss, you're a sissy, you can't manage anything important. Man, no fit cry, man, fit tough and woman must be independent and soft and giving and soak up all the negative comments. There are lots of social requirements that are put on us. Now, I'm not saying that those social requirements are the problem. They're not. So what the problem is that if a person is having an issue, they don't talk to nobody. You can talk to somebody that will give you proper coping mechanisms to deal with the social requirements. Because social requirements ain't going nowhere, not as far as I know. But you're going to be living, right? You're going to be existing in society, and you have to
Right.
find ways and means to exist and to be happy and to be okay in society. And that's why so my mental health advocacy is all about normalizing, one, talking about your mental health issue, and two, getting treatment for it.
And that is That is solid and important. So thank you for using your platform to speak on that, on those issues, because there, especially in Christendom, there are persons who want the help, but because they're told just pray about it, or we'll just pray about it, there's a perception that prayer alone is like, prayer is the only way that they should get help, and that's not true. You
Yeah,
know,
I want to add to that. I want to add to that, right? That's a very important point. We have to remember every good thing comes from God. God is also sovereign. So if you pray to him, say, God, I'm having a mental health issue, please help me heal. He don't have to do this to heal you. He could put in your mind, or put in your mother's mind or your friend's mind, say, hey, I know this doctor that you can so and so. And then he can put in the doctor's mind, I have this medication that can so and it can help you. Or every good thing comes from God. So if you go in the medication route, that is God helping you to heal. You prayed about it, that's your answer. Sometimes your answer can
yes,
look more tangible than a spiritual delivery, right? So
that's
sometimes it can
right.
be spiritual, and sometimes it's straight up biological. But at the end of
Yes,
the day, all of that belongs to God.
yes. Thank you. It's just important for us to get that out there and understand that help comes in different forms. It doesn't have to look the way that we expect it to look. Just be open to receive what it is that the Lord has for you. So yes, we slightly digressed there, but it was an important it was an important one. So back to content creation. Now, what would be your advice to persons who are struggling now, struggling to find success as content creators? Because as you know, um, during this time, a lot more persons are finding themselves and finding their voices and putting out more content. But there's also this challenge about finding your actual niche, finding success. You put out the content and the numbers are just meh. The numbers kind of flat, and you don't know how to break through. So what would be your advice to persons who are in that struggle right now?
I mean, from my experience, because I don't know everything about social media, because I too am quite new. But your niche comes from inside you. Your niche is not what's popular. Your niche is not what will get you the most views or make you the most money. Your niche is what you're naturally good at. The Bible tells you that your gifts will make room for you everywhere you go. So to decide on your niche, you have to decide on what are you good at? What makes you happy? What do you do effortlessly? What in your growing up, what have people constantly told you? Oh my gosh, you're good at this, you should do this. That's your niche. Don't worry if there's no one on the internet doing it as yet. Even better, do it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? When you do it, when you post, ask your friends to share your content. Your friends will share your content. Your friend, if they're not sharing your content, it's not your friends. Ask your friends to share your content, and little by little, people will tell you what they want. My experience is that when I put out something and people don't want that, they're not afraid to DM me and say, hey, this I want this. Could you do this, please? Could you do that, please? So the first thing, your niche is inside you. Second, post your videos. Post. Don't worry about other people. Say, ask your friends to share, and then look for feedback. And then each platform has their tutorials on how to grow on each platform, right? So you use up your hashtags, you use your SEOs, get educated on how to grow on each platform. Sometimes your growth can be organic. Sometimes you have to work harder for your growth. But at the end of the day, if it's only at the end of the day, there will be an audience that wants to see your content. There just will be, because everybody was born with a purpose. So don't worry about that. Just put your content out there. Your niche comes from inside you. Put your content out, your audience will come.
And so, how would you advise persons who are not seeing the numbers change, though, in terms of dealing with it on an emotional level, because we know as well that for persons who want their content to their platforms to grow and they're not seeing it, it can be emotionally damaging and very discouraging. How would you what would you say to those persons?
Because boy, that affect me too. I'm telling you, it's not a nice feeling. It feels bad. Boy, hope and pray that the views come up. How we deal with it emotionally. I'm the worst person to ask, but what I do is is hope and pray that the views go up. Try. Okay, here's what I do: test and adjust. So if you put out something and the views are low, try to put out something different, but still within your niche and see what happens. So sometimes you have to test the audience. And don't be afraid to delete a video that flop, If you put out a video and it flop, learn from it and delete it quick, and go hide if you need to, right? But come back out again. After you hide and lick your wounds and stuff, come back out again and recreate a video and try to do something different. Keep testing and adjusting. Keep seeing what viewers want to see, right? If you fail, just keep trying, because you must get a buzz. There's no reason why you won't get a buzz. If the fact that you were born means that there is something for you to do. So there's no reason. So it's not if you will make it, it's just when and how. By virtue of the fact that you exist. By virtue of the fact that you exist, you are supposed to make it, right? So just keep at it. If you see the views low, I can't tell you don't feel no way about it, because I'd be a hypocrite. Me feel bad. So if you see the views low, take a little time and cry about it. Run, go hide behind under your bed, delete the video, whatever, or come back out and put back your content. Also, each platform, you have tutorials on YouTube that tell you how to grow on TikTok, how to grow on YouTube, how to grow on this, that. Knowledge is everywhere. Take a little time and watch the videos. Try to teach yourself how to grow on it and stuff like that. And in time, you will get the views.
And when it is that you're seeing low views or low conversion, because sometimes you want to convert your audience from like an Instagram to YouTube, generally speaking, that conversion rate is very low. The IG audience does not typically convert well to YouTube, right? Those very tutorials that you're talking about, Julie, tell you those things. So your expectations, a part of it is managing the expectation as well. So when you have the knowledge, you know what to expect from each of these platforms. So you don't go out there saying, yes, all right, I have 1,000, 5,000 IG followers, so they must convert real easily over to YouTube. No, they won't. They won't. So, I think managing your expectations is very important in that as well. But that's good advice in terms of just continue putting it out there, because your purpose is greater than what you're seeing before you. It is greater than the numbers. It's greater than the likes and the followers. So the purpose that has been placed within you, it is for you to accomplish it. And when you put it out there, you put that content out there, you can either delete it or you can choose to leave it there forever, so that maybe years down the line, someone who needs it will find it.
That's
so yep. It's my approach is, all right, what has the Lord inspired me to do now? And I do it and I put it out there. And when it is out there, I'm like, all right, I'm done. But it's different for me because my purpose is different. I don't have a desire to have a large following. I don't have an expectation of this huge platform. But what I do know is that the Lord has said to share these things, put these things out there. And if it's 100 people, if it's 500 people, if it's one person, I'm going to put it out there and I'm going to leave it for that person because I believe in my heart that this is what the Lord has said. And I'm just
Yeah.
doing it according to that. Not to say that some types of content, right? Some things will be put out there and I'm like, so nobody know what it. you
Yeah,
know, you know,
like, geez, people, I work really hard on this. Hello.
and
You know?
it's hard not to. And then I should be clear that it's two different types of content that we're talking about here, because Julie, you're talking about the quick consumption type of content, the TikTok and the IG and stuff. I'm talking about long form content, which is more of like what we're doing right now, this
Yeah,
conversation that we're having,
yeah.
kind of thing. So, again, persons have different appetites for different things, and so you you are putting it out there with the hope that you are fulfilling your purpose and also fulfilling the need and the desire of the audience. So when
Mhm.
so when you don't get that uptake, when you don't get people watching it, it's almost like, was I wasting my time?
I
you know
also wanted to add what you said about conversion, like converting from TikTok, like audience conversion from TikTok to Instagram to YouTube. Sometimes
yes.
you could just view each platform as their own.
Yeah.
You might have a follow. You might follow for YouTube. People might follow you on YouTube and don't even know you have an Instagram or TikTok. But just because of the stuff that you put on YouTube, so just always focus on the quality, and the people will find you.
Yeah, true. And I think something important to note here as well is you have to determine, it goes back to what we were talking about earlier about strategy. You have to determine what approach is best for you. Do you want to be on four platforms and trying to focus on four platforms all at once, or do you want to focus on one platform and grow there, and then you can now adjust your strategy to the other platforms as you roll out to them, do it more in an agile way. That's the project manager and me coming out. You might want
Agile.
to in an agile way, so determine what is best for you, because you have to consider how much time you have to dedicate to this, what your true expectations are, what you can manage emotionally, how will it impact your family life and your social life and your mental health, all of those things. How will it impact you? So you take those things into consideration as well. So we spoke about what you would say to a person who is struggling to find success. Now, for you, you have found some success, right? You said it earlier, it's not like you're making millions of dollars, but you do have some success on social media. How has that impacted your life in general?
I've had to reschedule how I do things. I've had to learn managing my time. And when I say managing my time, also my thinking time. Because
Mm-hmm.
you have to be able to control your thought process a lot more because you have so many things to do. I remember I have personal life, Remember I have IRS sending me letter that I owe taxes and is a mistake. And those things you have your
Wow.
personal stuff. Yeah. I remember I'm not used to America, so when them send me that message, a lot of mercy for this to find out it's a simple thing. You just write back to them saying no, this, that, and that was resolved, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but what it does is it has forced me to manage my time. Also, it has had a tremendous impact on my mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Not a positive impact, a negative impact. But luckily, my therapist, who is on my IG, she messaged me and said we need to make our sessions more frequent. Not because she thought I was sick or anything, but because she knows what social media and being in the social presence can cause to a person, right? Just look
Yes.
at any famous person, look at people who just, and I'm not saying I'm no famous or celebrity or whatever, but the principle remains the same. It can take a toll on your mental health, right? And that actually has been the biggest impact. But thankfully, I
Mm-hmm.
have been able to learn ways and means and different perceptions to have. So when a person comments and say, "Oh my gosh, I love you, Julie," I have to remember that they're not saying they love me, they're saying they love your work. And that's very
Right.
important because you'll get caught up in it. And when you don't see that person comment on this video saying, I love you, Julie, you're wondering what you did wrong. Then you need to remember they're talking about your work. And maybe they didn't see the video, or maybe they are on a social media fast. You never know. So for me, all of this, the biggest impact it has had is on my mental health. Negative at first, but no, positive, because I've had to control myself a little bit more and to implement better coping mechanisms, better strategies, just to make me overall a better person.
Amen. So I must say that that has been a concern of mine, not just in terms of becoming successful, but just managing it all with family and or other responsibilities and commitments, managing the different pages, managing the platforms, continuing to put out content, being consistent with the content creation and all of that. It takes a lot. It takes a lot, and you do have to sacrifice some things. You sacrifice sleep for
Yep.
sure. And you sacrifice just time with others, and that thinking time that you mentioned is a very real thing, because for me, I'm that person who will be rolling things in my head for hours or days, and it is just, and then I say, all right, finally I say, all right, let me just do this, and then I'll take the time to execute it, to record it or whatever. But the thinking time, it impacts how you execute on the other things as well, because now
Yep.
your attention is split, and you're also
Yep.
thinking about, oh my gosh, I need to respond to this person because I don't want them to feel like I'm ignoring them, and da 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 da. It's a lot. So
Yep.
I'm glad that you mentioned, your therapist, and the fact that your therapist was cognizant enough to say, hey, let us increase our frequency, because
Mhm.
this can have a particular type of impact. So
You see, no man is
I
an,
saw it.
sorry, quickly. Another thing with increased attention, don't be by yourself. Don't do this journey by yourself. Because that's why my therapist, I don't think I'm gonna stop doing therapy for now. Not because I'm sick, but because I'm sensible. And she's
Yes.
always there just to keep me in check mentally, because I know that I had mental health struggles, and I just want to keep myself in check. So another thing, don't do this social media journey alone. You need to have your four. Maybe non-Christians won't make that reference, but okay.
But yes, you need to have your circle there. That's what we're saying. You need to have a
Yeah.
close circle of persons who can keep you accountable and keep you grounded,
Yeah.
as it is that you grow as well. Awesome advice. So with that, I mean, very, very important stuff shared, Julie. Really, really appreciate it. What would be just like the culmination of everything that we've discussed here? What would you like to leave our audience with, for the person who is considering becoming a content creator? What would you like to leave them with as they consider investing in themselves in this way?
Do it. Just do it. Just start. Take up your phone. If it's a Samsung you have, start. Make your first video. Your first video will not be perfect. Your first video will not be the quality that you want it to be. But you have to put it out there, because then somebody's going to see it. You're going to get some sort of feedback. The more you put, the more you know which direction you need to go. You can't just be sitting down and strategizing and strategizing. Don't let starting prevent you from starting. Because you can be starting from here and you haven't started because you are, okay, and you analyze this, that. No, put it out there and let nature, let life itself be your natural teacher in terms of what content you need to do and what you need to produce. Because you exist, you're supposed to be successful. You didn't say you're not going to get trials or challenges or discouragement, but you are supposed to be successful. So just don't get discouraged if you're putting yourself out and it's not working. It just means that you need a strategy. And there's a wealth of information online, on YouTube or wherever. Even TikTok, people are just on TikTok to teach you how to use TikTok, right? So there's a wealth of information. So whatever your purpose is, you want to create content, think of your niche from inside you, your niche that is unique to you, something that you are good at doing, and put out a video, put out a photo, whatever it is, put it out and see what happens and keep at it.
Awesome advice. Thank you so very much, Julie. I really, really appreciate this conversation with you. You have inspired me, the person who has been delaying on TikTok for so long. I really have not even installed the app, but really the conviction reached me. So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Thank you again so much, my friend. And to our audience, we thank you for joining us. Leave any questions or comments for Julie in the comments below. I'm sure that she will take the time to read it and respond if she can. We will also leave in the description the links to her pages, including her YouTube channel that she uses to speak and advocate for mental health.
I'll send you the link because I'm not sure if you have the link. It's the one, long story, I'm switching over the channel, so I'll send you correctly. Yeah.
All right, no problem. So you guys can look in the description and find those links and get connected with Julie. She is indeed a blessing and a joy to watch and follow each and every day. We are grateful to have her as a friend, and we're grateful to have you as our audience. So as you pursue your own content creation journey, we pray God's blessing over you. May it be a journey that is worthwhile. Remember that discouragement doesn't mean a stop sign. You can pause, but continue going, keep going, because there's a purpose in you that's greater than what you can see. All right, guys. So until next time, be blessed.
Bye, guys.